Good evening, everyone, and a warm welcome to Mystery Monday, live here on Facebook, and thank you if you're catching the replay. There is also, that's over on YouTube as well, if you miss it here or once it's deleted. My name is Lucia Visentin. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've all had a great weekend. As you hop on, do say hi. Would love to know who's about. What have we got happening? There's not a huge amount happening. There is one thing that I did want to let you know, and I was going to photocopy it, but I forgot to. There is a kit that's been out of stock for quite some time called the Heirloom Arrangements, and it is back in stock. I did check before I went on. It came back into stock today, so if you were after that, make sure you get on and grab one. I've already ordered one for myself. I know it was super popular before as well, so I don't know. It could sell out, could not. I'm not 100% sure, but I've definitely got mine just to make sure. The other thing is World Card Making Day. Now I do have. Sorry, to hop away. I have got my kit. And someone was asking about the box. Hello, Kim. Hi, Vicky. Hello, Anita. How are you all? The box is sturdier than the actual kit boxes that the kits actually come in. So it is really quite hard, okay? So it's definitely going to be a nice sturdy box to have on your desk as well. So when we turn around, I'll show you a little bit more of that as well. Hello, Natalie and Anne, Anita, Glenda. How are you all? Hope you're all well. And what else is there? Oh, yes, so World Card Making Day is the 4th of October. It is from 2 till 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Registration is free, so do register, because if you register, you will be able to get all the replays and everything as well, or the replay. And I think there was talk of a free gift as well, but I will check that out just to be sure. From Stampin' Up, not from me. And I do have a paper share left as well. But what I'll do is I'll turn you round and we will just have a really, really quick look at this kit, because it is really quite lovely. And a little sneak peek of what we're doing tonight, if you call it that. So let us have a look. So like I said, that is the box, and it's just got the little bit that flips out for the bottom of it. Thing that I really love is the stamp set that comes with it as well, which is fantastic. So these are all the little separators, dividers that go into your box. You get a secret C spot, and let us have a look. Probably on the other side. Sorry, here we go. This is what I was looking for. Oh, hope the weather's not too bad there, Fiona. Glenda, it is really strong. I think you'd be really happy with it, actually. It's quite a sturdy little box. So with the kit, there are 10 cards. And there are 5 different designs, so you're going to get 2 of each design in this one. And you can just see the designs there. So you do get your block, your embellishments, everything you need to complete these cards are in here. Dimensionals, and then all your die cuts. There are some cute little envelopes, and these are all the little bits. The pre-cut pieces that are going to go onto your card fronts as well. Okay, and then there are some more die cuts as well and some more labels. And these are the card fronts. Or card bases, I should say. Sorry, like I said, just a quick flick through tonight. So I can get them to turn, and a couple of plain ones at the end. So that, really quickly, is the kit. But like I said, I think it's it would be worth doing. It seems like it's going to be a nice afternoon. So tonight I'm actually doing a little bit of a mix. I am going to be using the Delicate Pine Suite, which is from the online exclusives. But what I'm also using is, here we go here, so Delicate Pines. But what I'm also using is the Peaceful Garden. So I'm going to use the glimmer paper and some of the designer series paper from the Peaceful Garden suite, and the gems actually. So I'm using a few things from here. And then from the Elegant Pine, I'm going to use the dies and the stamp set. Okay, so a little bit of a mix. Which one, Anita? The Elegant Pine? Because it is, I've had a really good play today. I've loved it. It's been fantastic. So like I said, stamp set here. The paper I'm using from the Garden Suite is this one here. I do have just a plain card base, so 21 centimetres by 14.85, scored at 10.5, and I have got an insert as well. So the insert and the piece for the front is 14.35 by 10. So let us start off, and I'm just going to start off with this one here. So we're going to get our stamps. So I've already mounted a few here, and I'm going to use cloud cover. Hello Joan. So the cloud cover, I have just got the spot. Let me just straighten up ever so slightly. Okay, so I'm going to just do a little bit of background stamping on my piece of designer series paper, and doing it in the same colour as well. So let's do sort of a little bit on the inside. So just to give this a little bit of texture. But I will be cutting some of this out as well. And you know what I should have had is my piece mat. So let's continue with that now. So these snowflakes are actually made of pine branches, which is just a little bit different, which is quite cute actually. And I have gone different colours, so the colours in the actual suite are all very earthy, whereas I have gone more traditional snowflakes, I suppose. So let's just ink all of that up. And pop him there. Okay. So that's a little background. I'm just going to quickly give these a super quick clean. out of the way a little bit. What I'm also going to do with this, just while I've got it here, is just colour over the pine or the snowflake with a little bit of Wink of Stella, just to give it that little bit of a glimmer, shimmer look. Because we don't want it to be too plain, we want a little bit of shimmer in it as well. And again, just not roughly, but quickly. Colour all these little bits in. Okay, so once we have done that, I'm going to glue this onto our card front. So what I'm going to be doing tonight is actually making a card and a tag, but out of just what I have here. Okay, so you'll see as we go along what I mean. But like I said, I did have a really good play today. Oh, I should have put more glue on that. Sorry, just let me. I am going to glue all inside of this too, because I will be using the piece I'm cutting out. Hello, Rochelle, how are you? Hopefully when it's finished it will be quite cool, be a little bit different. Oh, hello Helen, how are you? Okay. So now that I've popped that down, and I've still got it crooked, anyway, that is fine. It is what it is. I need to stamp my snowflake that I'll put in the middle of that. So again, I'm going to use my cloud cover, and we'll ink it all up. Because the cloud cover, I've got it on a spot, you're best to take the spot to your stamp, and especially because this stamp is quite large as well. Bring that piercing mat back in though, so that we're doing it properly this time. Yeah, this snowflake is the best. There you go. So we'll do the big one and we'll do the middle one, because what I'm going to do is layer them up a little bit. There you go. Cover him up and do a little bit of cleanup. So what I'm also going to do now is cut these out. So there are dies for this, which I did put back in the box, in the container, which I probably should have just kept them out. So look at the amount of dies in here though. There are masses. So you've got the snowflakes, you've got some almost boughs, you've got some holly berries, holly leaves, but also snowflakes. You've got some just leaves, you've got pine cones, you've got groups of 3 berries, and so that cuts out 3, lots of 3 berries, and this cuts out 6. So there is just heaps in there. So, but today, what we're using are these. I'm just going to get some tape to pop over them. So what I do is I line up top and bottom. And if you line up your top and your bottom, your sides should be fairly right. So again here, just line up 2 points. That way. Okay. And I'll just grab my cut and emboss machine. You're right, I didn't realise how many pieces were in the dies with these. There's a huge amount. And not just the snowflakes, all different other things as well. So we'll pop that there. Cut those out. Yeah, you're kind of right, because it's not your typical snowflake. I think you're spot on there. It is definitely for people that don't like snowflakes. I get that. So, now that I've done that, I'm actually going to use, now I've got a whole heap of things here cut out. So, some of those other dies, cut out these boughs that I was talking about, these bits here. So I've used that one there for these, and then I've used these little ones here, and with these ones you actually get 3, which is brilliant. This one you just get the one, so you do have to continually cut that one out, but you know what, didn't take much effort at all. I did heaps of them today. So what I'm now going to do is start building a little bit of a snowflake. So what I found, you could use glue dots. I was worried the glue dots would start getting a little bit thick up the middle though. So instead of glue dots, I have actually used just some Tombow glue. And I found that that worked fine today. And just another little dab on top. They are super sparkly. This glimmer paper is just gorgeous. It's a definite must-have, I think. So I'm just lining these bits up. So, sorry, let me get another one that I've stamped. So where I'm lining the boughs up are in the bits where there are no lines. So you've got your 2 lines here, but I'm going through the centre here, through the centre here, so I'm missing those lines, okay? So going in the middle of the lines. Now it does take a little while for it to dry too. You've just got to be a bit patient. Just leave him aside, and what I'm going to do is just pop a little block on top of him, and we can work on this little guy. So again, just popping a little dollop of glue in the middle of him. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm not lining up with where the lines are, I'm lining up where they're not. So not lining up with lines at all. And one more. Okay, so I'll leave that to dry as well. So what I also wanted to show you is you can give these, while they're drying, I did just want to show you how we can give these a little bit more dimension as well. So what I have also done is with my paper trimmer, you can actually score from tip to tip. So I'm just scoring where these lines go through. So from tip to tip, making sure I don't use my cutting blade because we don't want a half snowflake. And then what I'm going to do is where I've been placing my boughs in those little middle bits, I'm going to score there too. So score, I'll show it up closer as well so you can see where I've scored. This was just something I discovered as I was playing with it all today as well. So what I will do is where you've got the longer points, I'm going to do mountain folds. So mountain fold. Oh, yep. Mountain fold. Mountain fold. But then these middle ones, I'm going to do little valley folds. So can you see that that has now given us a little bit of a, almost a star. So then you can actually make things that have got a little bit of body to it as well. Like I said, not doing that with what I'm doing tonight, but I did want to show you that that is something that you can do with them as well. So let me bring in my card again, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this out of the centre of the front of my card, which is why I wanted all the glue all over it. So let's do that. Grab some of our tape again. A little bit there. Keep on losing all my bits of tape. A little bit there. And I'll bring my cut and emboss machine over again. It is nice being able to do that with those little stars. And you can do it with the smaller one too. I'll show you the smaller one later. So let's pop that through, and we're going to cut a whole centre out of that card. And I'll come back. I'll just carefully peel that off. And carefully peel that off. Okay, so now we've got two pieces. We've got that and we've got this. So what we will do is we'll work on this one. So we'll bring back my little bits. So now I will grab a glue dot and pop it on the middle. Now, like I said, I didn't use the glue dots before because I just didn't want, like, I know the glue dots aren't very thick, but by the time you got sort of 6 of them on top of each other, it would end up creating a little bit of thickness there. I'm going to pop that in the middle, like so, and then I am going to, let me think about this. I've got some ribbon. So what I want to do is to have this hanging down my card like that. So I did have, let me see what I had. I had that. I had something like that, I think. Okay, let's. It does look like a fancy brooch. So I am going to do a sentiment. And I am going to make it a nice long one. So the sentiment is from the Delicate Pines, and it's the most magical time of the year. And I will emboss it. That's what I will do. I'll find my embossing buddy. Make sure you get some of that powder to come out. Pop that down. Let's get my pierce mat again. There you go. And I have got some little bits of scrap paper. That we can emboss this with. Whoops. That's probably overkill on the embossing powder, but that's okay. All good. Now, like I said, I still haven't got the Wow embossing powder, but I think it is going to go onto my list of things to purchase, because I did see Jenny use it, and the gold was just brilliant. It was a gorgeous gold. So we will have to get that just so that we can see it. So heat gun on. Don't you love it when that changes? That is so pretty. So I might just, instead of getting my big cut and emboss machine, I'll cut that a little bit smaller, so then I can just bring my little one over. Pop those there. And I'm using from the textured dies, they are, I think, the rectangle dies. Okay, now this, I am ever so slightly going to cut the loops off the magic, the cursive, but it was the best die I had to fit this, so I was still going to go with it anyway. said, I have just taken the top and the bottom off that, but I'm not too worried about that. So I think I'm going to put that along the bottom. Now, to attach this, I'm going to use the ribbon. So with the ribbon, I'm going to make a little bit of a loopy thing. And have it so it does this kind of thing. So it's actually going to have a dual purpose, the card as well. So the card, as much as it is a beautiful card with this snowflake on it, we are going to be able to use it as an ornament and take the, detach the snowflake from the card. I could have fussy cut it. I did think about that actually, but obviously didn't. But fussy cutting, you could have gone right around the writing then. So we're just going to get that so it's the same. Like I said, do that kind of thing. So here I'm going to use glue dots again. So I'm just going to pop a glue dot where it's going to cross over. My glue dot is like that, and then I can pop another glue dot so I just want it to be centered, so I'm going to pop the other glue dot just there and stick that there. So then to attach it to the card, I'm just going to pop a little glue dot at the top here, and you will just have to tell your recipient that this can actually come off and still be used as a an ornament, because it won't be obvious. So that goes there. Then we can pop that up there, and then this you can go that way, and if I just get two little dimensionals just to pop on the ends. Now I'm not going to put any in the middle, and I know it is going to sag, but it's not going to matter because it's actually just forming a little bridge. So if we put that along there, and then our card opens that way. Just going to tuck those little bits back under. Okay, so then for the inside of our card, so it's the outside. Inside I do have a blending brush, and I'm just, now because our little spot is so little, it does take a little bit to ink this up, but that's okay, we have a little bit of time. I don't want sort of too much on there. I will put a snowflake again as well. Pop him there. And then I'm sure I had a few of these little bits left over. Let me see. Here we go. I've got this little bit here, which we might just stick there. So again, I didn't put any adhesive sheets behind, but that's because all the other bits I was using were going onto the snowflakes. Did not want adhesive sheets on those because I didn't want them to stick to the inside of my card. So that can go there, and we'll just cut the back off it. Put those aside. That can go inside. Oh, already have the top off it. Can go there. Like I said, I've just flip those out. So that is our finished card, but like I said, we just pop that off and then you've got your ornament. The other thing I was going to do was just place one of these little embellishments just in the middle, just to finish that off, and perhaps just a little flick of Wink of Stella on that as well, just to give it a little bit of a sparkle as well. How's that? That's quite a cute little card. So that was that piece. Then we have this little piece that we've cut out of the middle left over. So what I have done is I have already made up one of the other snowflakes. You could do two. That's a good idea. Do you know what? I had a little piece of window sheet here somewhere not long ago. Yes, so what Fiona has said, if we put a little bit of window sheet across the back here, so it's going to be clear, it would actually give our snowflake a little bit more stability then too. Thank you, Jenny. So then, like I said, with this one, we'll do a similar thing. We'll just get a glue dot. Pop it just at the back there. Sit that at the top. And then on the bottom of this one, I'll just have this little season's greetings. So we might even just glue that. I'm just going to sit it flat. I'll take him out of the way. Sit it flat at the bottom and flip him up. And you could also, I've got a little trio of punches that we have. This is a little 1/8 inch hole. So you could even, just at the top here, because it is a tag when all said and done, you can pop a little hole there. Now, I don't have, the only twine I've got You all good now? So I don't know whether you saw, but I've just punched a hole in the top of this. Okay, and with our new little punches. So like I said, that's a trio of punches. So you get the hole, you get a slot, and you get another little slot as well with the little loopy bit at the top. And I still have some of the silver thread left. So do you know what? I am going to use what I've got here. So this is kind of like the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. Both the boys are on computers gaming, so, you know, that could have something to do with it. So we can pop that there then. And then we can still glue that with that glue dot to the top. And you've just got to celebrate the season at the bottom of that one. So how's that? So that's one little ornament and tag, Christmas card and tag. And like I said, I do like Fiona's idea of putting a little bit of window sheet behind that. And if I could put my hands on some really quickly, I would, but I'm not 100% sure where I put it. So there's those two, and I did, like I said, I did have a bit of a play today. So my other card was this one here as well, which I thought was quite pretty. And again, I've done the same thing, so it does come off, and you can still use that as an ornament as well. So like I've already got 3 ornaments for my Christmas tree, or for someone else's Christmas tree if you gift them. So they are, like I said, it's a lovely little suite. Like I do like them. Yeah, the dies are fantastic. And this isn't the only thing the dies do. Like the dies are just awesome. I haven't cut everything out of them, but this was my little bit of playing today when I was trying to decide on colours and things. So like I did a few different colours and I cut a few different things out, and I just started playing with putting things on top of things. And so it was actually really good just to have, like I said, that little play. And it was better when you did an alternate colour on things as well. So I would definitely go the blue on the white, or the like I said, when I remembered we had the glimmer paper, I just went, oh, got to use the glimmer paper because that is just stunning. And again, I know, very monochromatic, but just nice and simple and clean and easy. Could you make a Christmas tree? You could make a Christmas tree using those branches, most definitely. Because there are the different sizes. So you could actually bring it down that way, bring it down that way. Pretend those ones at the bottom aren't there, but you could actually just build it down, having it getting bigger and bigger, and then add some more in the center there. That's a great idea, actually. I might try that again, and we'll make some Christmas trees. Yeah, that definitely is a challenge, that's for sure. Thank you, everyone. Like I said, I did enjoy playing with this today. Like I had no idea what I was doing yesterday, but once I started playing with these, and like I said, I will get the window sheet behind that one because I do think that that is a wonderful idea. I should have thought of that myself as well. Thank you, Fiona. That was great. So I hope you all have a lovely week. Thank you so much for watching me tonight. I hope you did enjoy this, and it was something a little bit different as well. I will be on again on Thursday with some tips and tricks. And like I said, there's the kit that's come back in again. I lost my sheet where I've got all my notes. The something arrangements. I can't remember what it was called now. And here you go. I do know what it was called. I've got it here. The heirloom arrangements, sorry. So the heirloom arrangements is back in, and that World Card Making Day. So do get in and register for that as well, because I do think you'd enjoy that. It looks like it will be really lovely. So thank you again, and I will see you Thursday. Have a good week. Bye.